I have been a little silent on social media lately because I am going through, well, first of all, I've been sick for a while and I have been going through some personal slash professional things that I'm processing. If you have been following me on my journey, you know that I don't post anything personal. It's always about my journey. And this time though, I know that the message that I'm going to be delivering, everybody needs to hear. So let me back up. 2019, I leave the US to go teach abroad in Asia. Um, and I have not been back to the States since. I left the States in August of 2019. However, at the beginning of 2019, January-ish, I started a spiritual journey and personal development, personal growth, learning about myself, about things like that. So 5 years later, I have learned so much and I continue to learn so much. And I know I'm not the same person that I was 5 years ago. Okay, so now from 2019, let's go back to last summer. Last summer, something happened that was totally beyond anybody's control. A totally unforeseen situation happened. I will not get into the details of it. I will tell you though, I lost 2 months' salary. I can't say I lost it because I never received it to begin with to lose it. The reason I lost it, I will also say this, was because of an unexpected death of somebody involved. So last summer, I found myself extremely depressed for like 2.5 weeks. Like really hit a low. And trying to figure out what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do with my life. I'm still overseas. I'm away from my friends. I'm away from my family. I'm away from my native language, which is English. I am alone out here. No boyfriend, no husband, no significant other. So I have to deal with this alone in a foreign country, not knowing the laws, not knowing anybody to help me, and not speaking the language. So for those 2.5 weeks, I am at one of my all-time lows in my life. And I said to myself, Julie, you have got to start applying all the things that you have been learning these last 5 years about yourself and about the law of vibration, the law of attraction, thinking positively, meditating, aligning, manifesting, everything that you've been learning, girl, for the last 5 years, you've got to put into practice. So I finally got up and took a shower. I showered within that 2.5 weeks, but not very often, let me tell you. And I literally, August 4th, 2023, I am so happy and grateful for. I made a list of things that I'm so happy and grateful for despite of the situation. Now, I didn't just say, oh, I'm happy and grateful that I have a bed. I made sure that those 16 items that I'm happy and grateful for applied directly to the situation of me losing 2 months of salary. So I hired an attorney. I found an attorney. Thank God, through the grace of a friend, referred me to somebody who is a local Thai but speaks fluent English. So he was able to help me. I felt good. You know, I had already accepted that I might very well never recover my 2 month salary plus the attorney fees now that I have. So that was summer 2023. Fast forward to this month. 8 months later, I have a hearing from the courts, and I just found out that it didn't go in the way we had anticipated it to go, and it turns out that I might not ever get paid for 2 months of work that I've already done. Now, for me, 2 months salary plus attorney fees is a substantial amount of money. I won't tell you how much it is, but let me tell you, it's a lot of freaking money. And learning that I won't recover it put me back into a downward spiral, mentally and emotionally, a downward spiral. But the good thing is that downward spiral lasted only 3 days. 3 days. And when I found out the news, I cried myself to sleep. Again, nobody to talk to, no, husband, family, still single, still having to deal with this all myself. But it only lasted for like 3 days. And I got my list back out, all the things that I'm so happy and grateful for that pertain directly to the situation. And just like, okay, this is it. I'm going to have to accept it. And I'm going to have to think of this loss as, instead of this much of a loss, let's consider it this much of a loss. And every time I find myself between last summer, when this all went down, when this all started, until now, it has been 8 months. When I find myself dwelling and thinking, I always remind myself, I don't have control of the situation. I don't have control of what happened. I don't have control of what's not going to happen. But I can control how I deal with it. And this is how I remind myself, I'm not the victim. I am not the victim in any of this. I don't choose to be the victim. I'm the survivor. I choose to be the survivor. And then I thought, everybody needs to hear this message. Friends, you are never a victim. You are always a survivor.